Be honest, isn't it concerning that having real ingredients in food products is a marketing and selling point? Shower thoughts. You're only late if you show up, so don't show up. Since the first Star Wars movie came out in 1977, chances are there are people who were born in the 1800s that watched the Star Wars movie in their lifetime. People who save money are normal. Squirrels that save nuts are normal. People who save squirrels are nuts. Putting on headphones is a universal sign of do not disturb, yet people want to talk to you when you do. Literally millions of people are doing the exact same thing as you. You never stop clapping. There are only longer intervals between your claps. People aren't scared of being alone in the dark. They're scared of not being alone in the dark. Even if incorrect is spelled correctly, it is still incorrect. Did you know that the world is actually not getting any less safe, but the older we get, the more our childhood innocence wears off and the worse the world appears? Shower thoughts. The only job where everyone is okay with child labor is being an actor. We're pretty lucky that sleep is still free after the amount of monetization in society. There are Germans named Franz and French people named German. Our parents read to us when we are kids to put us to sleep, but professors do it in lecture and expect us to stay awake. We all wear different shirt sizes but use the same size hangers. There is at least one person on the planet Earth doing any activity that pops in your mind. You have 20/20 vision in all of your dreams regardless of how bad your eye prescription is. Gift cards are the one gift where it's acceptable to tell the other person how much you spent on it. Tell me why there are sidewalks in the movie Cars. If two mind readers read each other's mind, whose mind are they reading? Shower thoughts. Did you know that someone's mom is totally using you as a bad example for her kids? Everything in the universe is either pizza or not pizza. Forks in restaurants have probably been in thousands of other mouths. Your tongue knows exactly how everything you look at will feel. How do blind people know when to stop wiping? The oldest sibling is basically classified as an emergency adult. Any bookmark worth more than $1 is a waste of money because you could just use the dollar. Being in shape is awesome, but getting in shape sucks. Getting fat is awesome, but being fat sucks. We don't know what the most successful lie is in history because it is still being believed. Being an adult is eating the crust, not because you like it, but because you paid for it. Did you know that someone out there has 4 moms? Shower thoughts. Ice skating is walking in cursive. It's funny that birthdays are what make us feel old, but the New Year's doesn't have that same effect. When they find a cure for cancer, smoking will become much more popular. When you eat ribs, you don't eat the ribs. As humans, we suffer as old people because we aren't supposed to be living that long naturally. As a kid, all we wanted to do was grow up and become an adult, but when we got there, all we wanted to do was be a kid again. It's very common to wear more than one shirt, but not at all to wear more than one pair of pants. We suffer more in our imagination than in reality. If you lose one shoe, it's basically the same as losing 2 because you can't wear the pair anymore. Kids are literally the most expensive thing that you can get for free. Dying is technically the last thing we will ever do. Isn't it weird that bees build homes with their mouths and defend with their butts, but spiders build homes with their butts and defend with their mouths? Shower thoughts. Where's Waldo would be a lot scarier if Waldo was the one searching for you. Notice how the friends that never text you back are the ones that are always on their phones when you see them. The creator of Photoshop could have had a lot of fun if he didn't tell anyone. Your childhood is like being drunk. Everyone remembers what you did except yourself. One of the most depressing things about being an adult is going to work when it's dark and then leaving work while it's dark. Ragnarok is a word that Scooby-Doo would pronounce perfectly. It's actually so unlikely to be in your 30s and have 5 friends that they actually made a show about it. When we were younger, we used to lie to our parents to go out with friends, but now we lie to our friends to not go out. Why is it so hard to read whatever's on a girl's t-shirt and not come off as creepy? Did you know that arguing with dumb people actually makes you smarter because you have to figure out ways to explain things in a way a dumb person can understand? Shower thoughts. What if horses are actually mythical creatures with the head of a Pegasus and the body of a unicorn? Vets probably see men crying the most. Your cat or dog might have an indistinguishable bark or meow that represents what they have named you. Sign language is the only language that can be spoken in space. It's kind of funny that your heartbeat is like a clock ticking down to your death. Cooking show competitions need a cleaning the dishes round to make them way more realistic. You could possibly be the reason why many people have broken their controllers or keyboards. A selfie taken by an orphan is actually a family photo. How come come warm milk and cold milk taste good, but room temperature milk tastes bad? Why is it that if you need to go shopping for clothes, you already have to have clothes, but you can't have the clothes if you're trying to go clothes shopping for the clothes you need to wear? Shower thoughts. Learning a new language opens up a new dimension of the internet. Somewhere in your family tree, at least one distant ancestor has probably murdered someone. You forget about your dreams when you enter reality, but you also forget about reality when you enter your dreams. The key to success is actually lowering the bar. Someday you'll reach exactly half your age at death and not even know it or celebrate it. Humans are the Batman of animals. We are weak and slow compared to a lot of other mammals, but we have so many resources that we are still stronger. An empty browser history reveals more than a full one. What are you hiding? Shower thoughts. It's really awesome that fire burns in the visible light spectrum. Why do we clean things just for them to get dirty, just to turn around and clean them again just to get dirty, just to clean them again just to get dirty? We all just decided that eggs are a breakfast food. Around the world, there are trees that came out of the ground the day or even the minute you were born, and they have been growing and living with you. Humans spend billions of dollars a year to research new ways to kill each other. The older you get, the less you laugh or cry. A person who's always looking down tends to find more money on the ground. Why is $1,000 not a lot of money when you have it, but it's a fortune when you don't? Welcome to some shower thoughts. Lack of sleep and stress is a mix that turns into an infinity loop. You sleep less because you're stressed, but you're also stressed because you didn't sleep. When you eat a lollipop, you are technically just drinking sweetened saliva. Whoever first observed the red eyes camera flash effect must have thought the subject of the photo was possessed or something. There are two ways to end world hunger. The first is by donating food, and the second way is by not donating food. Did you know that the elevator buttons for the first floor are the ones that are used the most? The fact that we are still rickrolling people is evidence that we indeed are never gonna give it up. Did you know that every single person in the world who reads a novel will have a different image of the characters and scenes they read? Welcome to some shower thoughts. How come your Wi-Fi password is one of the few passwords you were expected to give to others? Baby clothes have pockets, but babies don't need them. If you really think about it, speaking is very basic airbending. Butts are simultaneously one of the most sexy, disgusting, and cute objects in the world. Our brains are masters at fooling themselves. January is next week, next month, and next year. Isn't it odd that none of Mickey Mouse's friends are cats? You never really feel wet, just cold. Who else sounds a lot smarter when we aren't talking? Did you know that each year someone earns the world record for the most amount of poops taken that year and doesn't even know they have won it? Welcome to some shower thoughts. We're never really taught the law. We are either expected to already know it or just pick it up along the way, which is wild. Every machine becomes a smoke machine if you operate it wrong enough. The amount of people who are older than you right now will never increase. In order to experience true happiness, you have to truly experience sadness. Water, lemons, and sugar are all free at restaurants, but lemonade costs money. Why is it that there's not many things more satisfying than putting on a fresh sock? The truth is that money does solve almost all of our problems. Welcome to some shower thoughts. Non-critical thinkers can't think about their critical thinking problem. Penguin butts must be really warm to hatch eggs in the Antarctic. There are actually three sides to a coin. The chances of you picking a number as your favorite is 1 in infinity, yet people get similar favorite numbers. You don't have to raise your hand when knocking on the door. How come when growing up and watching cartoons, being a mayor seemed a lot more important than it actually is? Animals or pets receive more affection and love than most humans. You could technically be the love of someone's life and never meet them. You know, you can never be 100% sure of whether or not you're immortal. Shower thoughts. There's a certain turning point where weighted blankets go from helping with anxiety to giving anxiety. There are probably hundreds of pictures of you out there that you will never see. Sometime in the future, the bodies on Mount Everest might be the most well-preserved sample of modern human beings. Some people have lost more money in a day than some have ever made in a lifetime. Life has existed longer than death has. Biting your tongue is a reminder that your body's cruise control has glitches. All mammals have the first same meal of their life: milk. We use blinds to not get blinded. Have you ever thought about that there has to be some straight fire songs from ancient civilizations that we just missed out on because they were never written down? Welcome to some shower thoughts. Somebody somewhere accidentally has you in the background of their photo. Our fingers fitting perfectly in our nostrils must be an evolutionary prank. How come anytime an allergy is mentioned in a movie, that person usually gets killed or poisoned with it? Overcoming yourself is the hardest tribulation one can face in life. Humans are pretty lucky that fire isn't too bright to stare at. Wishing someone a happy birthday is congratulating them for not dying. You will always lose a staring contest against yourself in a mirror due to the speed of light. Isn't it weird that porn might be the only industry where consumers prefer amateurs over professionals? Welcome to Shower Thoughts. The person that found out how to start a fire is the most important person in history, yet no one knows who they were. You can knock twice, thrice, 4, and even 5 times, but if you knock exactly once, it's considered weird. How come the laziest people always come up with the most innovative solution to a problem? Deaf people lose their right to speak when they're being handcuffed. There's a very good chance that anyone who you see online or in public is going through some kind of conflict in their life. It's kind of crazy how you can make one mistake out of a lifetime of doing everything correct and be labeled as the mistake you made. Did you know that an old guy is older than an older guy? Welcome to some shower thoughts. Toothpaste is supposed to taste not so awful that people avoid to brush their teeth and not so appetizing that people eat it. It's funny people go to great lengths to get cats out of trees, but you'll never find a dead cat at the base of a tree that died from gravity. You know what's a life sentence? Being born. You can never get out until you die. In movies or TV, no one ever seems to maximize windows or view videos in full screen on their computers. Sneezing while you are laying down is a good ab workout. Growing up is realizing that you suddenly have to wait for the garage door to get higher before you can walk under it. There is no point to existence. You have to sharpen your own. Did you know that you could spell out every single number starting at 0, for example 0, 1, 2, 3, and etc., and not have to use the letter Q until you reach 1 quadrillion? A 4.7 star rating on a product looks much better than a 5-star rating. As a kid, you don't realize that you are watching your parents grow as well. The last person alive won't have a funeral. Moderately attractive people likely get hit on more than extremely attractive people do. It's strange that Spider-Man is so popular since spiders are one of the most common phobias. Someone with 6 fingers can't give you the middle finger. Being told you look younger while being young is a compliment, while being told you look younger while you're old is a compliment. Isn't it funny that your alarm sound is technically your life's theme song? Every episode starts with it. Teeth are the only problem that if you ignore them, they will go away. Nightmare is a specific English word for a bad dream, but there is no specific words for good dreams. Even when a balloon is half inflated, is completely full. Every minute of your day, you have to trust other people not to end your life. On a scale of 1 to 10, 5.5 is average, not 5. Master of Science sounds way more impressive than PhD. Not judging a book by its cover defeats the whole purpose of the cover. You often don't notice when a person blinks, but you notice if they don't blink. Fame is only attractive because there's money involved, otherwise it's a very awful existence. Plants can't eat in the dark. You can really tell who hasn't worked in retail/customer service jobs by the way they treat the workers at a store. All units of measurement are entirely arbitrary and exist solely because we agree they have value. Due to the radiation in space and the Earth rotating, we are all technically in a giant microwave. Technically, a murderer is always the first to arrive at the murder scene. An electric toothbrush doesn't break, it just becomes a regular toothbrush. Your life consists mostly of moments that you don't remember. The voice in your head can't change volume, so you can't annoy mind readers by yelling. Your character is defined by how you overcome your trauma, not the trauma itself. People are not scared of being alone in the dark. They are scared of not being alone in the dark. You know you're old when your birth year starts being used as flashbacks in movies. If you think about it, if the tooth fairy was real, it would inject mass amounts of newly created money into the economy and therefore directly cause inflation. When we are walking around a crowd of people and they cut us off or walk slower in front of us, we are usually fine with it, but once we're in the car, the entire attitude changes. All languages travel at the speed of sound except
sign language which travels at the speed of light. People who wear pajamas in public are often accused of giving up on life, but maybe in fact they're actually living their best life.
When you become angry with someone for being honest with you, they may begin to conceal the truth in order to avoid displeasing you. Many people can't really throw with force and accuracy because it is rarely useful anymore. The gray areas in your morals are one of the main defining characteristics of you. Adopting a child is the skip intro button for parenting. Science is like magic but with receipts. Having a day off to do nothing is considered bad if you're depressed, but good if you're not depressed. The only thing that doesn't change in the universe is the fact that everything is constantly changing in the universe. Letting your brain run on autopilot will always end up with either flashbacks of the past or dreams of the future.